Welcome to A's and Nays. Every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. we talk about issues related to our legislature, the laws, our constitution, etc., etc. And today on A's and Nays, for those of you who've been following the news, there's been this call for a return to parliamentary system of government. And one of those who have been fingered to be in the forefront of this is Professor Pat Utomi. Now, earlier, I think last week, it hit the news that certain elder statesmen were out and about seeking for people to reconsider the move to parliamentary system of government. Now, let me give you some background. Former political advisor to President Shehu Shagari, Professor Pat Utomi, has called for a genuine commitment to a transition from the current presidential to a parliamentary system of government in Nigeria. The professor of political economy stated this against the backdrop of the ongoing consultation by 60 members of the House of Representatives seeking amendments and alterations of relevant sections in the 1999 Constitution to usher in a parliamentary model of government. Now, speaking with the Punch newspaper, the Labour Party chieftain argued that any system, be it presidential or parliamentary, was workable in Nigeria, provided the leaders are honest enough to drive it with general interest of the people at heart. Utomi said the present crop of Nigerian leaders allowed themselves to be driven by the quest for personal possession, stressing that leadership was about the betterment of the vast majority rather than a privilege. Well, my guest is going to be joining me in a bit. I'm just waiting for my guest to join me. He is a senior advocate of Nigeria. His name is Ikeazo Akariwe. He'll be talking to us about how these constitutional amendments could take shape and if this is really where we're supposed to be headed as a country. So while we wait for my guest to join, I'll be taking your thoughts and comments on, this new angle or this new perspective of looking at leadership. And bear in mind that these are members of the National Assembly, members of the House of Representatives. These are people who are beneficiaries of the presidential system of government, a system of government that we're already, enjoying, or maybe they're enjoying. Why would they be going in this direction? Why would they be seeking for a parliamentary system of government? If these consultations go as planned, are we, the people, ready to embrace it? Because if a constitutional amendment needs to take place, we also have to be carried along. Will we be giving a nod to it? And is that going to be the solution to our problems? While I wait, okay, my guest has joined me. Hopefully we're able to hear him and see him. Once he does, we will start that conversation. But I really want you to ponder, while we wait for the guests to join us, to ponder on this system of government. Is it something, who knows? If the National Assembly members say this is the way to go, is that where we want to be led to? Is that the direction we want to go as a country? What is it, a system of government that we want to embrace? Is that even the problem that we have and that we need to solve right now? I'm thinking it's a democratic system, but then mostly we run, a democracy can run in whatever. It can be in a parliamentary system, it can be in a presidential system, it can be in a federal system, it can be in a unitary system. But the big question is it about the system of government, or is it about the people who are the members of government, the people who are running the government? That's the big question that needs to be answered. My guest is still having issues with joining Zoom. He's going on and off. Hopefully we can get him to join us in a bit. My guest is a senior advocate of Nigeria. His name is Ikeazo Akariwe. He's trying to join us. Hopefully he can join us. I think that he has joined us. Let's see if we can. Okay, I don't know if his audio has connected. Let's see. Mr. Kaiwe, is it possible for you to turn on your video so we can hear you? That's if you can hear me. Well, I don't think we can hear you, but we'd like to see your video too because we're streaming you live. But can you hear me, Mr. Kyrie?
Yes, I hear you. Okay, in that case, I have to wear a shirt.
Well, let's while you're trying to wear a shirt, let's start the conversation first. Someone can bring you a
All
shirt
right.
before you turn on your video. Thank you so much for joining us. The last time you were here, I was so certain that I needed to bring you back because there's a lot I need to pick your brains on. But thank goodness you said yes and finally showed
Yes.
up. So if you listen to my opener, the big question is it the system of government that we need to change at this point? And if the National Assembly or the House of Representatives is pushing for this and a constitutional amendment, are we the people open to that move also?
Well, if you don't mind, allow me uh, just give a general overview of the difference between the parliamentary system and the presidential system,
Please.
and what system I think, in all honesty, is best for Nigeria, and perhaps to also answer the question you posed, whether it is about the system. The parliamentary system, which we practiced in the First Republic before it was unfortunately truncated by the military, ensured that we had it was modeled after the British system. The British has a head of state who is ceremonial, the monarch, the king, and then a prime minister who is not voted for directly. His party is voted for.
Mm-hmm.
And the party with the highest number of seats in parliament forms the government, either alone or in coalition with other parties. And the leader of such a coalition would become the prime minister. So, first of all, from that explanation, the parliamentary system is cheaper to operate. The presidential system, you have to crisscross the entire nation and win a certain percentage of seats or votes across the country. But in the parliamentary system, it is the party that needs to win the seats. The party needs to win the seats. And all the individual needs to do is win your own seat in your own constituency. And if you are the leader of the party, do your best to have as many seats as possible. And then you form the government. I would like to think that the parliamentary system is more accountable to the people. Because, for instance, if Tinubu were the prime minister, it would be that all he needed to do was to win his seat in Lagos. And then he will form the government since his party has the highest number of votes. And another major advantage of the parliamentary system is that in a multi-ethnic, multi-religious nation like Nigeria, there is no winner takes it all, which is the hallmark of the presidential system. The presidential system is a winner takes all system. Even though some countries have tried to create proportional representation, but proportional representation goes better with the parliamentary system. Proportional representation means that whoever wins, whoever has the highest number of votes will form the government only according to the percentage of votes So like the APC won about 39 or thereabout percent of the votes across the country. They will only occupy 39% of the seats
in the
in
parliament. Okay.
Yeah. The PDP won like 37 or so, or 35 or so percent. Maybe APC scored like 40. I'm not too sure anymore. Then PDP had like 36 or thereabout percent. They occupy 36% of the seats in parliament. And the Labour parties are like 31 or so percent. They occupy 31% of the seats in parliament. So now, how do you have a situation where the party that scored about 40% of the total votes in the country is occupying a humongous number of seats? So for a multi-ethnic, multi-religious nation like Nigeria, parliamentary system together with proportional representation makes it imperative for whoever has the highest number of votes not to take over the country as if it's called 90%, but to link up, relate with, negotiate, and give mutual respect to the other parties. So that's what we need in Nigeria, a parliamentary system with proportional representation. So a man from Oyo knows that to form the government, he needs to negotiate and network with the man from Cross River, man from Enugu, the man from Kaura Namoda, from Kafanchan, from Funtua. He knows that he needs to network with the man from Calabar, from Port Harcourt. And so the parliamentary system is better for us. So we have, under a parliamentary system, for instance, a person like Buhari could have been ceremonial president. You have a ceremonial president from perhaps the most influential of the parties. You have a system for choosing him. Then you have a prime minister. If the prime minister is unable to put his acts together, there'll be a vote of no confidence and the government will fall. Instead of waiting for a military coup, the government will fall under a vote of no confidence, and then somebody else will form the government, or the fresh election is called. Can you imagine how corruption has been gotten away with Nigeria? If we had a parliamentary system, I'm almost certain that government will be more serious about corruption, because there's going to be a vote of no confidence. So you must do something about it. So the parliamentary system, in my view, is what we shouldn't have left it in the first place. Perhaps we should have fine-tuned it, but don't leave it.
Now, I'm sorry that I'm going to take us back to something that a former head of state said about our country being fantastically corrupt, and our leaders gradually, acing the game at being fantastically corrupt. Who's to say that we will not find a way to fantastically corrupt again the parliamentary system of government? As much as you are saying that you would be able to cut corruption to a certain extent, how are we certain that they would not find a loophole? Because we always have a Nigerian way of doing things. They would say, oh, well, it's our own type of parliamentary system of government. Who's to say that that's not going to be the case?
Thank you for the question. And I do agree with you that, really, institutions matter. And some institutions are more effective than others. I believe the parliamentary system is more effective for a multi-religious, multi-ethnic nation like Nigeria. But you have made a valuable point, and that point cannot be lightly impeached. As a matter of fact, the point you made takes me right back to ancient China. In ancient China, you will probably recall that when they dug the pit, the Great Wall of China, that the purpose of that Great Wall of China was to ensure that their enemies never overcame them. But what happened after building that Great Wall of China? The first enemies that came did not bother to climb the wall. They went to the gates, met the gatekeepers, and bribed them. And the gatekeepers let them in, and they conquered the Chinese. I mean, the Great Wall of China is so great that from outer space you can see it. When the three Americans who went to the moon in 1968 got to the moon and looked down at the earth, they saw the Great Wall of China from the moon. Wow. That's how great it was. It was built for over 100 years, hundreds of years, from one emperor to the other. Great Wall, but when it was completed, the first enemies who came got in, not through this Great Wall, but through the lack of character of the people, bribed the gate men. So, yes, at the end of the day, neither the presidential system nor the parliamentary system would work if corruption is not minimized. And how do we minimize it? The answer is blowing in the wind. How do we minimize it? It takes a statesman to rise up and decide that he's going to be ruthless about corruption. I'm afraid it takes dictatorship for corruption to be effectively minimized. So you're right.
I want to push you further on that take that it would take the dictatorship for corruption to be minimized. But I want to go on a quick break. When I come back, Mr. Carey, you're going to expatiate. Help us understand what you mean by dictatorship. Helping us to deal with, corruption. We'll be right back. It's still A's and A's, 99.3 Nigeria Info on Hard Facts. My guest is the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Ikeazo Akariwe. And we're talking about the call for parliamentary system of government and, of course, National Assembly trying to get it back as a system of government. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
Concrete seas. Now she headed east down the boulevard. Sure, said I like the way.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Facts. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories, we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, it's still A's and A's, and we're still talking about the parliamentary system of government and the call for it. Of course, in the forefront of this is Professor Patutomi, but then, of course, we hear that House of Representative members are also pushing for it, and we're trying to understand if this is the way to go. But before we bring back my guest, let's talk about something else.
Lagos, it's about winning every day here with oneplay.ng on Nigeria Info. And on Nigeria Info, daily winnings are now over 150,000 naira. And to partake in this, all you have to do is go to the website at www.oneplay.ng. Okay, that's it, www.1play.ng, or simply dial a code, which is the USSD code *347 *880 *3 #347 *880*3# and play with as little as 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your ticket is already in the draw. Remember, the more you play, the better your chances of winning, okay? You can win on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, Game On Shows, and the rest. I'll give you more just later.
I remember being screamed at. The customer was not going to pay for the Bantu nuts. But giving up was not an option then. And it isn't now. Not even fear can stop me. Be fearless. Be beautiful with Lush Hair.
Lush Hair. Be beautiful.
Start your day and have a good time. Kivo Creamer. And where you need to have the break time. Kivo Creamer. If not tea, Papa Garita. Kivo Creamer. Kivo Creamer.
I hope we have received all our vaccinations now.
Yes, Daddy. Mommy, Auntie Peace, and Grandpa finally got their COVID vaccine.
Yes, so. And you also got your tetanus shot and the HPV vaccine for young girls of your age.
Baba, it's a good thing that you brought everybody to get their different vaccinations and booster dose.
Nurse, it must not be here that any member of my family did not take their vaccination, no. And we will keep up with all the schedules. Adults, children, aunties, uncle, grandpa, all the family members.
I am glad you decided to follow who no road.
Yes, nurse. Now I can sleep better knowing my whole family have been vaccinated and are well protected from all these yama diseases. Now I dey follow who no road.
Remember, no matter your age group, there is a vaccine for you. Boost your immunity at any age. Visit a health facility to find out which vaccines you need or call 7722 for more information.
Anywhere Clara enter like this, people must give am compliment.
Clara.
This your sense makes sense, so.
Now because I dey use Wazobia.
Anywhere Johnny enter sef, people must comot card for am. Johnny. As you enter like this, everywhere just begin smell nice. Which kind of perfume you dey use?
Now Wazobia perfume.
Yes, sir. Wazobia na the correct scent wey get quality. E dey last long and e dey give man and woman confidence any day, anywhere.
For authentic scent wey dey indigenous, make you choose Wazobia.
E dey available in perfume and body spray.
You fit get am for stores, supermarkets and open market. E also dey available on top Jumia.
Remember, no be only how you take dress, na also how you take smell.
Wazobia, correct scent for correct people.
Every parent wants to see their child growing up happy and healthy. Introducing Renzo Vitamins for Kids, a secret to your child's daily nutrition and boundless joy. With Renzo Vitamins, your child will have the energy to embrace every moment and unlock their full potential. Give your child a head start in life with Renzo Vitamins for Kids, because a happy child is a healthy child.
It's Ramadan. Come on board. Let's go on a tour to the top restaurants where you can enjoy the best of the season. First stop is Charity Cafe. Here, the currency is sharing, so keep giving. Next stop is Kindness Bistro. Be the kindest you can be. Last but not the least, make a stop by at Forgiveness Drive-Thru and let go of every beef. And at Sahur and Iftar, bring it home with the goodness of great tasting meals with Noor. This Ramadan, don't just eat for good. Share the good and be the good. Noor, eat for good. Here's an amazing opportunity for your child to win 1 million naira, laptop, 1 year free data, cool hoodie, and other exciting prizes in the System Specs 2024 Children's Day Essay Competition. The competition is open to children aged 9 to 16, and the essay topic is protecting the Nigerian child from the dangers of online technology. Hurry now to bit.ly/2024 essay for more information. Entry closes on April 19th, 2024.
Hey, my people, if you be businessman wey dey spend money anyhow, make I tell you something wey go make your life easy. The Vital card, this na card wey go make you feel like oga for business spendings. No limit at all. With Virtual Card, you fit spend anyhow for your business. No more fear for bank fees and limit where they hold your business back. Virtual Card, now the solution where you need for all your international business payment. Imagine say you fit pay all your suppliers worldwide every time without stress. Virtual Card, now the card where sabi business. No limit, no wahala. You dey ready to flex like the big man where you be so? Grab your Virtual Card today for all your business spendings. Virtual Card, the card where they match your business levels, no shaking. Go download the Virtual Pay app sharp and get your card now. Terms and conditions apply.
It's sweet. Flower air freshener. Air freshener. It refreshes your day.
Never allow offensive smells hijack your productive day. Take charge of the air around you with Swiss Flower range of air fresheners.
Air freshener.
Swiss Flower air freshener. What an air of freshness.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Hi there, parents. Did you know that your child may not always get all the nutrients they need from their diet, and some children are picky eaters? This is why you should give your child Well Kids Smart Chewable Tablets, which is a food supplement from Vitabiotics UK. It contains 21 vitamins and minerals to contribute to brain development and support optimum growth. Choose Well Kid for smart kids. It is available in all leading retail pharmacies nearest to you.
Who says you can't have it all with one play?
I got that defined boy. You have just won yourself.
Congratulations.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Melitus. One player, don't talk to two players because you won 20K.
So now you won yourself 20,000 naira.
My name is Well Done.
Okay, well done. You want to tell you well done. You won yourself 20,000 naira.
With 500 naira, you can play to win big from 120,000 naira to 190,000 naira daily on Nigeria Info. Go to oneplay.ng and play with 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. Or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Win daily on Nigeria Info. 50,000 naira on Morning Crossfire. 60,000 naira on WhatsApp Lagos. 20,000 naira on Sunnyside. And 60,000 naira on Game On. So Lagos, what are you waiting for? The more you play, the better your chances of winning. Remember to dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18.
Madam, you don't try this new Lush Hair 4-in-1 no lie relaxer kit. We get free neutralizing shampoo and conditioner join.
What? Me, I know deal.
You not even sabi wetin dey happen for town. You see this Lush Hair relaxer so?
E no dey pepper, e no dey burn. E go even make your hair shine like oil.
Na so, Lush Hair relaxer kit na correct. We no go make your hair cut. We no go make your hair dry. E no dey pepper and e dey relax hair well.
Come by your own.
Lush Hair. Be beautiful.
Start your day and have a good time.
Kivo Crema.
Where you need to have the break time.
Kivo Crema.
If not tea, Papa Garita.
Kivo Crema. Kivo Crema.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Well, back is still A's and Nays, and my guest is a senior advocate of Nigeria. His name is Ikiazo Akariwe, and we've been talking about the call for us to move to a parliamentary system of government, because it will, in not so many words, reduce the cost of governance. It would reduce corruption. It would one way or the other make our leaders become more and more responsible to us. But is this something that you as a Nigerian are open to? Now, Mr. Kaire, before we went on that break, you said something about the fact that we must, in fact, we indeed need someone who's more like a dictator to be able to deal with the level of corruption that we're dealing with today. Can you care to expatiate a bit on that?
Yes. Corruption is systemic in Nigeria. And within the perimeters of democracy, I don't see how we can address corruption unless the democratic leader is slightly autocratic. Not autocratic in a self-centered way, but autocratic for the collective good of the people. So if, for instance, a governor is very firm and ruthless on corruption, and is not ready to group any opposition, well, we're going to call him a dictator. But at the same time, he's going to get things done. If a president absolutely refuses to grease the palms of the National Assembly, that ridiculous thing they do every year, collecting humongous sums of money in the name of constituency projects, but it's actually corruption. If a president said, well, I won't do it, we've got so much development to do, I won't do it. And, well, they're going to threaten to impeach him, and he's going to have to think outside the box and go extra constitution to stop them from impeaching him and to ensure that they go to jail. Just using some ideal examples. But I do not think that within the perimeters of the constitution, of democracy, as it is the presidential system, which is fashioned after a very sophisticated democracy, the United States. We can't deal with corruption. We can't deal with corruption. Now we don't want the military to come back. So it's got to be a democratically elected civilian leader who will put his feet down and fight corruption. And I saw Obasanjo going dictatorial in order to deal with the issues of corruption. You may not like Obasanjo, he may not be your favorite leader, but he certainly tried to deal with corruption, and he set up EFCC and ICPC. And then, unfortunately, his successors, well, Yaradua, we can't say much about him. Jonathan Kotod before corruption, and Buhari, who came to office upon a reputation for anti-corruption, actually capitulated completely to corruption. But can you imagine if Obasanjo's quasi-dictatorship was followed up by Buhari's quasi-dictatorship? Buhari was not a self-centered dictator who put an end to the NSAS revolution because he felt it was a military coup trying to overthrow him himself. He didn't care for the people. But if he was a dictator, dictatorially inclined, put no opposition in his quest to purge the country of corruption, following from Obasanjo, who went that direction, Nigeria would have gone very far now. So I'm looking at a dictator within the perimeters of the constitution.
Okay, interesting. I see that people are already calling because I guess they have opposing views, or maybe they agree with you. Well, Lagos, the phone lines are open. A parliamentary system with a prime minister, or a presidential system with a president that has a little sprinkle of dictatorship in him that will help us to fight corruption. Which are we buying into, and what can really help us solve the Nigerian problem as we speak? I've got barely 10 minutes on the clock. Lagos, join the conversation. My guest is the senior advocate of Nigeria, Ikezo Kaiwe. You can join the conversation via Skype if you're listening to us from outside of the country. We're Nigeria Info FM. If you're listening to us in Nigeria, call 020-1465-7190. You can tweet with the hashtag #HardFacts. Or better still, you can join the conversation on facebook.com/Nigeria Info F and post your comments. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Maryann Okon.
Good evening.
Good evening to your guest, Zeal Akariwe.
Yes.
I think I prefer the parliamentary system of government with regional system. If you look at, sorry about that.
Yeah.
If you look at where we were before the Civil War, it was as a result of the fact that the regional system, the East was actually doing well. It was the fastest economy in the whole world then. But for the fact that the imperialists who are holding us on the most dangerous part of our body now, we are so much influential on our politics then. They truncated that particular trend then in order to make sure that they fuse us with what they have done now, in order to make sure particular individual who they will give all the power, they will be supervising everything through the person. And that is what actually happened. So if we can go back to that regional system that has to do with parliamentarians, we would be better off than what we have now, because every region then was competing to meet up.
All right, you have only 60 seconds and I need to let you go, okay? Thank you very much for calling. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is a calling.
Eze, go ahead quickly. You have 60 seconds.
You see, that's parliamentary editing is not going to work because everybody's mouth is wide now, and the system is already corrupt. Before you can let them organize themselves, everything will start and more. I believe we just take ourselves the way we see it now. That's my point. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, baby Maria.
Yes.
Good evening. And good evening to your guest there.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Godwin, calling from Loshoro Lakwe.
Go ahead, Godwin. You have 60 seconds. Quickly.
It's okay. Well, from the analysis and the dictionary understanding of the parliamentary system of government, and in the situation we have found ourselves in this country at the crossroad now, that would be good if we have a leader, not a ruler that is after himself and the family yet to born, to pack Nigeria's wealth into the private pocket. That is good. But the fear there is this. The people, the Nigerians that are coming there to live, are they not coming with their influence, with their money to buy themselves into that position and begin to recoup that money they will use in bringing themselves into?
Okay, I have to let you go. Godwin. 60 seconds. Everyone has to get to 60 seconds. Just get your thoughts together and then go straight to the point. Hello. 0201-465-7190. That's 0201-465-7190. I'll read some messages that are coming in. Someone says, it's the character of the people in government. That's the problem of Nigeria's democracy. That's from Ewa John. Another person here says, everybody knows how good the parliamentary system of government is, but what bedeviled it was the jealous influence of the Western world when they realized. Measurement, I think you have already called us to tell us this, so thank you very much. Someone says, let's see. Okay, obviously this message is not for us. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Sorry about that. Do call me back. Sorry about that. 0201-465-7190. Please, when you call me, go straight to the point. Hello.
Yeah, Maryann.
Good evening.
Engineer Okon calling from Ogwadi.
Engineer Okon, can you speak up a bit so we can hear you better?
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yes, it's better. Go ahead.
All right. My greetings to the.
You have 60 seconds. Stop greeting. Go to the point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I want to ask him, why did we opt for the parliamentary system instead of also opting for the regional system of government? Because I know that in that regard, every state will be will be able to, harness whatever resources they have, money what they have, and probably pay probably a percentage to the federal government. So why didn't you? I want to ask your guest, why didn't you go for the regional system of government instead of the parliamentary system of government? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Kariwe, would you care to respond? He's saying, why not opt for the regional government as opposed to parliamentary?
Oh, well, the options I was given was between presidential and parliamentary. But I certainly believe that we need to regionalize. The states are too weak, and too many states don't have revenue of theirs. They rely on the central government for handouts. I think that's very, very importantly, you can marry both parliamentary system and the regional system. And I think that the states should be reduced from 36 to about a dozen. There should be 12 states, probably modeled after General Gowon's 12 states.
How possible
and
is
those
that?
states should be reached.
How
and
possible
those,
is that,
well,
sir? Because we're already spoiled. How do you even start molding those states back into 12?
Well, the way to go about it is if you make them 12 states and you write into the constitution a rotational leadership or governorship within these regions, within the states, so that the former Gombe state knows that in 5 years' time, a one-term governorship of 5 years, in 5 years' time, Gombe units of northeastern region, for instance, will produce the governor. And then Bauchi unit of the northeastern region knows that they will produce the governor after as soon as so a time. That may pacify the elite. It is only the elite who are benefiting from all this proliferation of states. The poor man on the streets, the suffering man, is not moved whether you create 20 states or you create only one. So, but the truth is that the states are not viable as they are. And so I would opt for a regional system and a parliamentary system within the regional system, federal parliament and then regional parliaments, like we had in the First Republic.
Okay.
And that the regions should generate their own income and pay 50% of their revenue to the central government. Central government should not be giving a region 13% and keeping a humongous sum for itself. Okay. They have no business doing that. Well, what the central government is doing in Nigeria is modeled after military rule. When the soldiers came, they abrogated federalism with the unification decree, because under military rule, you can't have federalism. The head of state is the commander, and he commands his troops. He sends this colonel to that state and sacks this other colonel. But now that we've returned to democracy, there should be a return to federalism, properly so called.
Okay.
And I would recommend that we went back to the First Republic's regional structure, but not the 4 regions.
Okay.
The present 36 states. If you like, if you insist, let's have 36 regions. But most are not viable. So I propose cut them down to 12.
All right. Talking about cutting things down, let me give you some information quickly, guys.
Coming from Access Bank, book your flight tickets on Access More app. still doing. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for a weekly jackpot. So don't forget, your chances of winning are the same whether you play on the website, which is oneplay.ng, or whether you dial the code, which is *347*880*3#. Lagos, remember to play responsibly, but do not forget to tell a friend, okay? Don't say I didn't do anything good for you.
All right, let me read some messages that are coming in here on Facebook Live. Sandra and Kim, Paul here says, let us scatter all the cabals in government and change all our constitution. Remove all these old men that gave, I'm sure you mean that have been in government for decades. Then we can start a new Nigeria because these people don't have anything for us. They're after themselves and their families. Tohib here on Facebook Live says, I'm sorry, but the guest seems not to have a grasp of what he's talking about. He mentioned in one breath that parliamentary system saves costs by virtue of candidates not crisscrossing the country to solicit for votes, while in another breath, he's used the percentage of votes scored by the three top candidates in the last election. This is contradictory. The best example is to use Federal House of Representatives. Okay, and he sent me a very long message there. Saturday, Ayumui says, all criminal politicians and other arms of government would not be allowed or will not allow Nigeria to work because it benefits themselves and their families and friends. Raphael Adegoke says all the systems of government Africa is practicing is alien to us. We need to develop the kind of system that would work with Nigeria and not a copycat kind of system of government. It's high time we came up with what will work for us in Nigeria. Mr. Kariwe, I have just 1 minute before we go on the show. I'd like to hear your response finally. Do you think that going forward, with the corruption that you've mentioned, I have 1 minute, we will be able to further ahead if or even come to a conclusion whether we're going to adopt this parliamentary system or not?
Yes, I think Nigeria is at the precipice, and this country requires a lot of prayers from men and women of goodwill.
We've been praying for years. Oh my God.
Yes, and that's why it's not worse. But we do need to pray. We need to hold on and pray a little bit more. We will get there. We will get there. It's been really rough and unfortunate. Too many loafers, too many irresponsible people have found themselves to the corridors of power. In 1999, when the military handed over, when they started the process in 1998, most people didn't think the military were going to really keep to their words. So good men stayed away, and loafers, irresponsibles, deplorables, they came in. But it's going to change. Nigeria will change for the better.
All right.
Let's keep hope alive. Let's stay on our knees praying.
All right, I want to say thank you. Mr. Akariwe is a senior advocate of Nigeria. Ikezo Akariwe has been with us here on A's and Nays today. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take a break, Lagos. When we come back, I'll be saying my goodbyes properly. Stay with us.
That's your day and have a good time.
Kivo Krima.
Where you need to have the break time.
Kivo Krima.
If not tea, Papa Garita.
Kivo Krima.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens.